Hi, this is Mike with theconcreteprinter.com. Right now I'm going to go through this video and explain what's really going on. We're out in front of an Army Reserve Center. We're going to be doing the Army logo right on the front. The logo is, I believe, 20 by or 22 by 28 inches. Right here, there's the machine is not engraving. This is just a setup. I set the machine for the full parameters of the future engraving, and I set the machine high, and as it travels around I lower each corner until the bit just nicks the surface of all the high spots, and that way I can get just the average depth. Alright, I'm back. I didn't think you wanted to really listen to the machine run the whole time. It's not the worst sound in the world, but it's definitely not pleasing to the ears. It does get louder and it does get quieter depending on the speed control. The higher you have it spin, the longer the bit's going to last, but it does create more dust and noise. The dust really is not too bad. I don't use a vacuum attachment. I just kind of sweep up the area when I'm done. I'm going to use this video to try to answer as many questions as you might have. This particular logo was very easy to import off of the internet. Just a matter of a few clicks and sizing it appropriately. Setting up the toolpath, what I did was set a different toolpath per different engraving. This is one. I went back and forth because of the unlevelness of the concrete. It did a better job cleaning up the router bit marks, and you'll see later on how smooth the surface is. I'm trying to think of the questions that everybody asks me. One is how much do you get for all these engravings? What does somebody charge? I don't like to answer that. It depends on the person, depends on what they have invested, or whether this is their main job, or whether you add paint is going to be a huge factor. I don't personally add paint. I am definitely not an artist. I'm sure it can be easily done. I add a clear coat just to keep it nice and white, to show the different color aggregate within the concrete. This in particular engraving I did for some military gentlemen. This is, I believe, like their housing unit and their headquarters office front door. It definitely attracts a lot of attention. I've never done an engraving that didn't have a giant crowd around it. Very non-labor intense. After you set up the machine for the height, you're just going to press start, kind of stand back and watch it do its magic. The speeds can be set up in the CAM program. or CAD program, and it'll tell you how long it's going to take. Now you can adjust that in your Mach 3 settings depending on how well it's cutting and how well you have it set up, because obviously you want your first pass just to nick off the surface. So your speeds are going to depend on how much you're trying to cut down. I always try to cut as little as possible just to get the full engraving. You have pretty much the same effect if it's an eighth an inch or a 16th, as long as you're digging into the aggregate. This picture here is a picture of the back of the control box and the back of the laptop. There was a picture of the speed control. That's a really nice feature now. The cutting spindle on this thing moves 28,000 RPM without that, and that's just full bore. Right now it was cutting at only about half. It's really nice. You're able to do wood, aluminum, plexiglass, different types of materials, different types of speeds. I want to go back to the controller box. You just have 4 plugs that hook up to the actual concrete printer. Other than that, your electrical outlet, any normal 20 amp service breaker is fine. I've never blown a breaker. I don't run my vacuum while it's going. I have for a short time here and there, but it's a good idea not to. I don't like to carry a battery backup, and you definitely don't want the machine losing power during the middle of a project. You only need to have 2 outlets. The cutting spindle plugs into back and control box, and then you'll need your outlet for the laptop as well as the control box. And it is a laptop, so you can go without power with that. In the worst case scenario, if you did lose power, you just have to find your coordinates again. It wouldn't ruin your project. Now we're doing the actual letters. This was very easy. The smaller the logo you do, the easier it is to have everything level and looking, the same flat depth. Very, very accurate. Each pass, I think I was doing 2 or 3 passes on everything. The longest little piece on here was a star. I think it was set up for about a total of 5 minutes. I never try to rush a job. I think the whole job may have taken me, of actual cutting time, 30 minutes. I think it turned out very nice. Whether they want paint in it is going to be completely up to them.